What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Pod of Aggie Land. This is your host, yours truly, Chase Lane, the number 2 in the field, number 1 in y'all's hearts. Man, had a crazy weekend for the last weekend of the regular season in college football. You've seen upsets all around the field, with different games, but I think our game that lived up to the most hype was our W against the LSU Tigers down in Baton Rouge. Beat them 38-23, number 5 in the country. Spoiled their homecoming, I feel like, and spoiled their chances to make a college football playoff. And, I talked about that so much, man, just throughout the year, just how we've been put in a position to, spoil a lot of teams' futures and, spoil their success down the road. And I think we did just that. And, and also I've talked about it throughout the year, just having a game where we just connected on all three phases at one time. And, just playing a consistent, good, fundamentally sound game for 4 quarters. And I think we did just that. And I cannot wait to unpack all of those things. So let's get right into it, man. So how was the week of practice? It was a normal week of practice, honestly. I don't think it was anything crazy. Honestly, I do think that we have actually had better weeks of practice prior to LSU week. So I don't believe that LSU was our best week of practice. And I do think that we kind of came out slow to start the week, honestly. I think just with it being Thanksgiving week and, just not being able to see family members and not being able to, just go home and just relax. We were able to, have dinners at our coaches' houses, and we had some team meals, and that was really good, just fun and, just being with everybody at once. But, just not really being able to be in the Thanksgiving mood and the Thanksgiving sense of mind. So I think that kind of hindered our practice habits this week. But other than that, I think it was a solid week. We got our guys back. Evan Stewart, he came back and he practiced this week. And, we got Vaughn back. I started practicing again this week. So, I think what really helped us towards the latter part of the week was Coach Fisher just really started harping on that this is going to be the last time that this team in particular will play a game together. Like, because, you're always going to have people, just try to go pro. People might try to transfer out. People are just graduating, things of that nature. So I think we really started to understand towards the later part of the week, just, hey, this is the last time we will ever get to play together. And it would be a shame if we didn't just come together for one last game, man. And, I think we did just that. And I've always said it, on paper, we have the roster and we have the depth to compete with any team in the country. And at times we did compete, and at times we didn't compete. So I feel like it was really important to everybody, not just older guys, but, guys in the middle, younger guys, staff, position coaches, everybody. I think we were just so committed to, just putting it together the right way for one last game. And, man, it came to fruition, and it was beautiful. So let's break it down, man. So where does yesterday rank for home game memories from my time here at A&M? This game, of course, Alabama game from 2021, Florida game of 2020. Those are probably the best moments I've been a part of in my home games at A&M. But honestly, this game has to rank number 1. We faced so much adversity and ups and downs. For us to end it like that on a high note going into the offseason, it was almost a storybook finish for us. So Alexis Knox and the Hudson team are helping the people of the Bryan-College Station area and Austin to find their dream homes and to create these same amazing home memories for themselves. The Hudson team is the number 1 Zillow ranked team in the Bryan-College Station area based on sales volumes and the number of transactions done each year. All members of the team are former students of Texas A&M, including our friend Alexis Knox. Alexis is a broker associate and a realtor with over 5 years of experience. She and her team love helping Aggies find their dream homes and are with you every step of the way throughout the process. We all know the importance of a good home in college football, and us Aggies have one of the best. So if you're in the Bryan-College Station area or Austin, contact them at 281-745-0010. That's 281-745-0010. You can also find Alexis at Alexis Knox Realtor on all social media platforms or on her website at alexisknoxre.com. Starting off first quarter, the guy Devon A-Chain touchdown goes up 7-0. Man, let me just say this before I go any further, man. I know that our offensive line has caught a lot of negative attention, and with just everything that they've been hearing just from week to week, the social media, just people just who, watch college football, for them to respond the way they did against a front seven as physical and talented as LSU's front seven, man, that is just that is just so remarkable on their parts. And a lot of, if I'm being honest, a lot of people didn't have our O line over their D line, and for Vaughn to rush for get 38 carries, 215 yards, and 2 touchdowns to put him over the 1,000-yard mark in the first time in his career, man, that was just brilliant and just excellent play on their end, man. And a lot of those guys are young, so a lot of those guys will be returning back, and I can just see. I kind of look at them similar to back in 2020 when we won the Orange Bowl and how solid our O-line was, with Jared Hawker, Carson Green, Kenyon Green, and those guys, Ryan McCullum, and just the jump they made from year 2019 to year 2020. Because in year 2019, people were kind of saying the similar things that they were saying about our current O-line now. But the jump they made to 2020 was just so remarkable. Isaiah Spiller, he had 1,000 yards. Kellen Mond only got sacked like 2 or 3 times that whole season in the all SEC schedule, to say the least. So I'm really, really, really looking forward to the jump and the growth that those guys, will be making into the year 2023. So going forward, I know I got kind of sidetracked. LSU, they got the ball back. They tied it 7-7. But let me just say this also. I never really thought that LSU was going to be able to compete with this. Just for some reason, there might have been something in the air, but I think the first drive tells so much about how a game's going to play. And I was telling people, I was telling my friends back home, I was telling my family members, I was like, look, like when they would ask me, like, hey, you guys think you got a chance? Like the number 5, like you got a chance? And I was like, man, look, if we can establish the run, we will win this game. As simple as that. If we are able to establish a run game, we'll win this game. Because let me break it down. When you're able to establish a run game, it just creates positive yardage and positive gains. You feel me? So instead of it being third down and you're 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12, you have to call these pass plays where where the defense is going to be sitting at the sticks. When you are able to establish a consistent run game on like 1st and 2nd down, you get into those 3rd and mediums, 3rd and shorts, and they're easy to convert. And Coach Fisher always harps on, just staying ahead of the sticks. So when you're able to establish a run game, it keeps the defense honest. And, when they do pack the box and they do try to defend the run, that's where your nakeds come out, and that's where your shots down the field come down. So the first drive was extremely telling for me, and I think it just gave us just a huge confidence boost, because for us to march the field like we did and come out with 7 points, we were like, look, man, like, they can't mess with us. They can't play with us. Like, I don't care about the record. Like, we don't care about the record. We don't care about the ranking. Like, look, bro, they can't play with us. And we in Kyle Field with the 12th man, like, we can get the job done. So moving forward, 2nd quarter, we trade field goals, scores 10-10. We end the quarter. We have some huge runs by Devon Chain. And, Donovan Green comes back with a big touchdown to put us up 17-10. So, man, that play is so – anybody can score in that play that we called. So how it is Noah Thomas, he comes in motion. It's like a hot, fast motion, full speed into the flats. And usually he's the first read. So if no one covers Noah, Connor is throwing it to Noah in the end zone for 6. And then on Noah's side, you have Moose. And then on the opposite side, you have Evan Stewart. And they're basically running like crossing routes. And usually how those are supposed to work, they're picking each other's defenders and they're running towards the back pylon like that. And so whoever usually pops open, that's the second option. But then the third option is Donovan Green. And he kind of sells block like he's helping in protection, but then he shoots out to the opposite flat of where Noah came from. And so, Connor, just showing excellent poise in the pocket you can see him, he was backpedaling, and he was just trying to, just to have somebody come up, and then, Donovan Green popped open at the last second, and he delivered a beautiful ball, man, and, a big touchdown to make us go 17-10. So it's always a reassuring feeling when your quarterback is able to, execute and make plays under pressure. And, like I said, a pressure as dominant as LSU's front seven, and for us to, come out with 7 points again was a huge, tremendous boost going into halftime. And so, Coach Fisher always says it, man, like, we always kick the ball out to start the game if we can, because you want to get those points at the end of the half, and then that gives you opportunity to go up two scores when you come out in halftime, and you can score again and you put them behind the even bigger 8-ball. So in the locker room at halftime, guys were not excited. Like, nobody was like, hey, yeah, let's go, yada, yada. Like, and this was also extremely telling for me, just because we are a young team, but like, everybody was even keel. The game is not won. There's no reason to be happy right now. Like, let's go. Like, no smiling, no giggling, no high-fiving, none of that. Like, we got a game to win. Like, there's no playing around. And when I saw that from our team, man, I was just kind of like, oh, snap. Like, we done figured it out. And that was, and I didn't even tell anybody this, but when I saw that, man, I was like, there's no way in hell that they're going to beat us. And we might beat them by double digits. So I do think LSU underestimated us coming into this game. But like I've been saying the entire year on this show, man, that when we get it to click, and when it does click, man, I don't think there's a team that can really play with us. And I can say that because, look, LSU was number 5 on the brink of being in the playoff. So, yeah, man, when I saw that, man, and I saw that demeanor, and I saw that killer mindset and that killer attitude, I was like, oh, yeah, it's wraps for them. Like, there's no way. I know we're only up by 7, but there's no way they can get this game back. So we come out third quarter. They scored a touchdown 5 minutes into the half. We did come out kind of slow. And, that has been an issue with us this season. I think we had like 2 3-and-outs to start the third quarter. And, Coach Fisher, he got like really – he was really like, we can't be doing this, yada, yada, yada. Like, we gotta be better. Like, we got to snap out of it. Because it's just like, man, like, we've been here before, man. And, like, we didn't come this far to just come this far. You feel me? So, like, I think it was kind of just like a slap in the face to everybody, like, on the offensive side, like, okay, let's go, man. Like, we got to wake it up. Like, we got to get back in our groove, you know what I mean? Like we can't let this one slip. Like, yeah, we've let 7 other ones slip, man, but we can't let this one slip. So, we come back, big play by my dog, Damani Richardson, another touchdown. Kind of mad because he got more touchdowns than me on the damn season, but it's okay. We'll talk about that later. But Damani scoop and score to put us up 24-17, man, in the third quarter. Got the crowd back into the game. Got the momentum back on our side, man. And then at that point, I was like, let's go, man. Like, it was just a big, it was just such a relieving feeling, man. That guy has been a leader on that defense for not only this season, but the past 3 years of his college career. So Damani is a guy, to any NFL scout out there that, just may come across this episode. Damani is a true competitor, man. He loves the game of football. He understands the game of football, and he's got a killer mindset, man. And he's coachable, and he's willing to learn. So that guy has, made plays for us these last couple of years, game in and game out. He has all the toughness, all the effort, all the discipline, all the pride, all the grit, all the intangibles that Coach Fisher says you got to have to play this game, man. So, just big shout out to my guy, D Rich, getting out there and making another play for us, man, and really propelling us to this victory. So Next drive, unreal touchdown by my guy, Muhsin Muhammad III. And I know we took a little break last week and we didn't really, I didn't give y'all an episode on Thanksgiving because, it's Thanksgiving. So I said on Monday's episode, I was like, look, man, Moose is so talented and it's so effortless for him that he can easily be one of the best receivers in the nation. And I said that a little bit on last week's episode. I was like, man, look, like if y'all were able to come to practice and see the types of things he does in practice with, just catching the ball, like those 2 catches that we saw from him, like were not like breathtaking because he does that on a routine basis. That's a routine catch from Musa Muhammad. And, coming from a football family, his dad, Muhsin Muhammad Jr., legendary Carolina Panthers receiver back in the day, played in Super Bowls, just a receiver I grew up watching. He comes from that background and, just it's really nice just seeing him become his own player and, just go out there and just make it look so easy, just being in the moment. Because even when he scored, if you saw his face, he just was kind of like yeah, like I'm that guy. So man, that's just so crazy, man. And I'm not gonna lie, watching it on the big screen in slow-mo and just how, first of all, the ball was immaculate. The ball couldn't have been in a better place. And Connor just let it rip and he just fit it in that little pocket. And, just watching it in slow-mo, Moose's arm, his right arm is literally like being like strangled by the LSU DB, and all he has is his left hand. And he didn't even like catch it in his palm. He caught it in his like fingertips and kind of just cuffed it in to his pocket. And then on top of that, the safety over the top is coming through and trying to knock the ball out. And so for Moose to have the concentration and the hand-eye coordination to have his right arm strangled, bring it in with his left fingertips, right, and then tuck it away and then kind of move it so the guy can't punch it out, man, like, you can't coach that. Like, you cannot coach that, man. And, like, he's a ball player, man, and, just Moose is going to be a name to be reckoned with going into next season, for real. Because everyone on the sideline was like, okay, that might be the greatest catch he's ever made. But then, on the same exact play later in the game, where it looks like it should be an incompletion or an interception, he literally goes over the dude's head with one hand again, and to be mindful, he is right-handed in doing these things with his left hand, by the way. He's bringing it over with his left hand over the guy's head, brings it back, and it's almost going to truck the guy and stay on his feet to stay on his feet for 6. So, man, Moose, we talked to him, and, Moose is my guy. And I just be telling him, man, I'm like, look, bro, like, if you can just do that this every day, and if you can just, just stay consistent as you are, like, no one's going to mess with you, bro. Like, when Moose got here, I was saying that he's probably the most physically gifted receiver in our room. Like, I said that when he first got here in 2020. So, to just see him have the success he's had this year, man, and, I know we missed him in the Auburn game, and, it's kind of just been up and down with everything. But, man, just for him to just go out with a bang, 5 catches, 94 yards, and 1 touchdown, man, those are really good numbers against a really good football team. So, big ups and big respects to my guy, Moose Muhammad, man. And, just keep grinding, bro. If you listen to this, bro, just keep going, man. Just keep going because there's no limit to where you can take it. So, moving forward, Devon, he scores again, gets his 2nd touchdown of the night. Goes up 38-17. It seems like it's time to celebrate in College Station, man. And let me also talk about Vaughn for a little bit. I've read some things about Vaughn. People are trying to say, oh, you can't use him as an every down back. He's down first guy who comes to the ball, who makes contact. He's down. He can't squeeze out extra yards. Man, look, Devon the Chain ran like he was Derrick Henry last night, pulling and dragging guys for them extra 3 to 4 yards, man, and just just trying to get to the end zone. And it was kind of funny. I told him, I was like, you're not going. He needed 113 yards to get over 1,000 yards for the first time in his career. And I told him, I was like, you're not gonna do it. Like, you're not gonna get it. So I don't know if that was any added motivation, but man, that boy was running that ball like his life depended on it. And just for a scout, that if this could potentially be that could have potentially been Devon Chain's last game in the A&M uniform. And just to any scout who's listening to this, trying to think of what they're gonna get from a guy like Devon Chain, man, look, a true baller, a true football player who makes everything look easy, and just it's just at that, man. He loves the game of football as well. Like, there's not anything that he can't do, because he can go out at receiver, he can run routes, he can catch the ball, he can any kind of runs, every down back, man. That's a guy who can do it all, can literally do it all. And he showed that time and time again this year. And he is, just he's been a safe haven for us this season, man. And so for him to have the night like he did, I arguably think that was probably his best game since he's been at A&M. And, just to do it in that fashion, and, just to do it the way he did, and just with everything, how this season's been going, just with him and, the O-line and everything, for them to click together last night, it was truly special to see. And I think everybody felt that in the stadium last night. So another big ups to my guy Devon Chain, man. That was some insight on the offense side of the ball. But moving on to the defense, I said that if we were able to neutralize our run game, and if we were able to neutralize and contain the QB run, that I thought that we were going to be successful in this game defensively. I think our defense did just that. I think they put a lot of pressure on Jaden Daniels, and I think we forced him to use his arm more than he would have liked. And even though he did have, a couple of runs that may have busted here and there, I think we fit gaps right. I think our linebackers fit gaps right. Our DBs, man, they're locked down. I think I read somewhere that we have like the top 3 like passing defense in the country. So, Jay Jones, Antonio Johnson, Damani Richardson, Bryce Anderson, Jordan Gilbert, Jared Kerr, anybody who plays DB for us, man, they came out there and they locked stuff down. And, that you can just tell that, especially when Damani scored, that we were just playing with supreme confidence in ourselves on both sides of the ball. And, our defense, man, they held the number 5 team to 23 points. And that's saying a lot. And, they've been able to neutralize a lot of offenses, this season. And, they've had our back tremendously for to us to, just return the favor and, put some points on the board for them. I think it meant a lot for both sides of the ball. So, man, so just circling everything back, finished the year 5-7, 2 wins in the SEC, man. You've heard it from anybody on this team that, this wasn't the way that we envisioned the year going. And, I've kind of been able to, give the player perspective from this season, man. But for us to rally together, just for the seniors who are on their way out, and, just for this team to play together for the last time, it was kind of like our national championship, honestly. And I know that it sounds like a consolation prize, and it may sound like, oh dang, like they're not making the bowl game, man. Like, forget all that, bro. Like, for me and for a lot of guys on this team, bro, this was like our national championship. And just to do it in our home stadium, to have the fans rush the field, it just kind of felt like Alabama game last year all over again. Just and getting a chance, just interacting with the fans, in their most emotional states, in their most, just highs of adrenaline, man. Just everybody was just happy. And, the locker room afterwards, those winning locker rooms after the dubs, man, they're so just refreshing. And, they just make you so glad to be a part of something bigger than yourself. So, man, I just, from the bottom of my heart, just want to appreciate all the fans, man, who just stuck with it and stuck with us throughout this year of roller coaster and this year of turmoil and this year, just of adversities, man. And I can truly sit here today and say that I do believe that our program is heading in the right direction. Just everybody who's followed the Pot of Aggie Land, we're not done yet. We got a little bit more going on for this season in this off season, man. But just for everybody who was just continue. It's funny. I had people coming up to me who saw in the field. Oh, we love the podcast. We love the podcast. Can't wait to hear about it on the podcast. Yada yada yada. And, that feels good. Like when you got your fans, just supporting just everything you're doing on and off the field. So it meant a lot to just hear those words last night, man. But just everyone who's just consistently just showed support and has just listened to the podcast. I appreciate it. I appreciate the hell out of it, honestly. Yeah, I appreciate it honestly, man. And this isn't, our story isn't over yet. And when I say our, I mean just the A&M football program. Coach Fisher, his story isn't over yet. The staff, their story isn't over yet, man. These players' stories isn't over yet, man. And although last night was beautiful, Saturday night was beautiful, and it was everything that we wanted it to be and more, we're still hungry for more. And I think that's the biggest lesson and the biggest thing that you can take out of this weekend is that now we finally showed what we can be when we execute on all cylinders. So going into this offseason, I know it's going to be a long, tough offseason for us, no doubt, if we want to fix the issues we have in terms of just execution and things of that nature. But I do think that next year will go different for us, and I do think that A&M is going to be a program to be reckoned with going forward, no doubt. So, man, look, it was fun. So I appreciate everybody, like I said, tuning in for another episode of the Pot of Aggie Land. Glad that I could, come back and recap a win for you guys. You can kind of tell I'm in a lively mood at this moment right now. So, just happy that we were able to go out there and get the job done. And, that's it. We out. Peace.